I've been thinking all morning about what I talked about yesterday in my video, talking about how I want to see more people talking about Christian ethics and values in society. And I thought further, like, how does that actually play out in a day-to-day life, especially for a regular person that isn't posting videos to social media and stuff like that? What does it look like to actually spread Christian values throughout our communities, throughout our culture, and throughout our entire society abroad? It starts with us as a single individual, and it starts first with actually getting into our Bible, understanding things like the book of Proverbs and the words of Jesus, and doing our best to live these things out. Now, I'm not saying we have to be perfect, but we certainly do have to live to a higher standard than what the world is currently living at, so that we can be an example. Then from there, we have to be willing to have conversations with people that are just real, genuine, and honest and authentic. So I think about examples like what I've experienced in my work life, because a lot of times that's where we're going to have the most impact and the most ability to have an impact is in our careers and in these places that we're at every day where we engage with other people. And there's so many instances I've thought of times where, for instance, being around, other men in the workplace, they will make a comment about other, women and their appearance, or make comments about, jokingly talking about watching porn and stuff like that. And in the past, I would just not really say anything about it. I would just kind of let it slide. But I also wasn't living out a life in my own regard where I felt like I could say anything about that. But as you elevate your own lived experience and you elevate your own ethics in your own life, then you start to understand oh, actually, no, I can speak on this. And if you can have those conversations in a real manner, if that makes sense, being real and authentic with somebody, it's going to have more impact, especially if you can also demonstrate that you have been living out these ideas. And so how I would go about this is I would have a conversation with someone. Let's say somebody was joking about porn. I would probably talk to this man now if I experienced this and say, hey man, I understand it's funny to joke about this, but it's actually, really, it's not. This is not what we're called to be as men. And I'm not saying this to try to say that I'm better than you in any way, because I'm not. Actually, in fact, if you want to go look up my testimony on my Firmly Unbound YouTube channel, I was the absolute worst when it came to this subject matter here. But I know now that this is not what we're called to be as men. And if I can be real with you because I actually care about you and I love you, I do want you to know you're called to be more than this as a man. And I would hope to see you not continue to just joke about this behavior like it's something funny, because it's not. And that's it. I would just leave it at that. And that's how having those little individual moments is how we start to shift and change culture. But we have to have the confidence and the courage to do that. And I hope that each one of us would pray and ask Jesus to give us that confidence and courage.